Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey.
Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey. All right. Right now it's time to call 1-800-252-1025. Be call student to the Life Coach. Love to hear from you. We'll also take your emails at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce. For men, call 1-800-DIVORCE.
Remember, when you call, you can be anonymous if you need to. You can lie about your name. All the time, I get people like, I've got a problem. Could you talk to Danny for me?
I get that all the time. I get a lot of mail, and they say, you'll see it on the emails, I don't want to go in there. Go in there, just change your name.
Yeah, and a woman asked me recently, she was having the empty nest thing. Kids grown, just gone to college. And she said that her husband that she's been with and still loved, they've been together for like 25 years or something, have sort of entered friend zone. And that
happens.
Yeah, and she doesn't want that. And she was trying to figure out what she can do to save her marriage. And her mother-in-law said, move on. This guy's not worth it. Her own mother-in-law is telling her that. And she said, I really want to, hear what Danny has to say, but I don't want to call.
Yeah, well, you can call. Of course, we will take your emails at lifecoach@KZOK.com, but we'd love to hear from you on the phone. But speaking of that, the empty nest syndrome, I was just thinking that the lady was married 25 years.
Yeah.
If I'd have stayed with every single one of my ex-wives, I think I'd have been married over 30 years.
Whew.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to somebody like that who has this empty nest thing but doesn't want to give up the marriage?
Well, usually the empty nest comes with the kids. Your kids move out, and you have the empty nest.
But that's what happened. The kids moved out, and now the husband's like, all right, I'm going to go out with my buddies. I'm going to play poker. And she's like, well, why aren't we spending time together?
We have to reevaluate that relationship. But I will tell you this. The first thing, I think hobbies are a great idea. You got an empty nest. Take, my wife and I are about to start. Dig this. Hobbies are a great idea. We're going. Tom Douglas teaches a pizza class. We've signed up for a leaded glass class. I think that hobbies are a really good solution. Not a solution. The solution is, get in touch with yourself, but fill up your time. And that's what I would suggest, to get a hobby right away, and a good one, because some of these things are really fun to do, by the way.
Right. So a hobby that they can do together, because the issue with her seemed to be he didn't want to do stuff with her.
You know what? You'll be interested whether you get a hobby with this guy, with your husband, or not. You'll be shocked of how much stuff you can do without your husband, and it'll be still be fun and fulfilling.
This is Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. So as we were saying, if you want to change your name, feel free. Or if you want to call as yourself, you can. 800-252-1025. Jesse in Everett, you're on with the Life Coach.
Hey, Jesse, how can I help you?
Hey, Danny. How you doing?
I'm good.
I was just calling. I got two questions real quick.
Shoot.
First one is, I just recently got in a little fender bender out in my parking lot at work on private property.
Right.
And I just put a scratch on the bumper, and now they want me to replace the whole bumper. And I was just wondering how that works exactly on private property.
Well, the private property should not affect your insurance in any way, unless they're using property insurance to cover it. Do you know what insurance they're using to cover the accident?
Well, that's the thing, is there's no report on it. There's nothing. All I did was leave my name and number.
Well, you know what? Because I want the thing on this is, it's a good thing to leave your name and number when you do something like that. And Jesse did, and I'd hate anything bad to happen to you. On a side note, Jesse, I used to be bad. Before I came to you as Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, and a wonderful person that I am, I hit a guy's car. I didn't do any real damage, but I did leave a scratch. And you know what I did? I left a note on his car that said, hey, man, I'm sorry I hit your car. I don't have insurance, but everybody's watching me right now. Bye.
Wow.
I know, isn't that a bummer? I was 30 years ago or something. I still feel bad about it. So, yeah, you got to find out if they're using their property insurance to go with this. But the fact of the matter is, you said that there's nothing that says this accident happened?
No, nothing at all. And I don't want to screw them, but, I don't want to. There was $800 for the bumper, and it only cost $200 to fix the scratch.
To buff it out? Is that what you think will fix it?
Yeah.
So how do you know that who contacted you and said it's going to be $200 or it's going to be $1,000, whatever it is?
They did. They went and got estimates from Mego, but for a new bumper, not to actually fix it.
And do you have insurance?
Yes, I do.
And what does your insurance say?
I haven't actually contacted them yet. I was kind of waiting to try to figure it out privately, but... Well,
here's the deal. If it's an insurance company and they are contacting you and you have a deductible that you can afford, you should go to your insurance company with this, because you're going to end up all lost in the paperwork that's coming your way. You did the right thing. You left the number. And I think if they're trying to tell you it's $800 and you don't believe it to be any more than $200, how big is your deductible?
$500.
Oh, you're going to end up paying either way. You're going to end up paying the first $500. You should... all these, a lot of times, the insurance company comes out being the enemy, and they're not really. I think you're going to find out that your insurance company is a friend on this, and you're going to pay the deductible, which is $500 anyway. So you should contact your insurance company and say, I don't believe it's that much, you guys. I left my name. I don't think it's that much. I think they're trying to screw me. Well, you become them. You can say, I think they're trying to screw you, and your insurance company will take care of it. But you did the right thing, Jesse. You can at least feel good about that. Thanks, man.
800-252-1025. Call that number right now if you've got any kind of problem for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. If you listen to this show, you know that Danny has literally been through everything and can help you with any kind of problem.
True enough. Truer words were never spoken.
You can also email lifecoach@KZOK.com. We've got an email from James in Seattle. I've liked a girl for 2 years. About 2 months ago, she sat me down and said, I only like you as a friend. Despite this, I still have really strong feelings for her. I want to tell her I still have those feelings, but since she sat me down, we've become closer friends, and I don't want to mess anything up. What do you think I should do?
Sarah, let me ask you something. From what you get that email, have they already had sex?
No.
They already slept? They have not?
No.
Who's with a girl that has feelings for 2 years and doesn't cross that bridge already?
Imagine this scenario. Granted, it's a little bit different because it's the workplace, but say Olivia the elder.
Right.
That 2 years that we have worked with Olivia.
Right.
And this whole time, Will has really liked Olivia.
Right.
And she sat him down and said, you know what, Will, you're a great guy, but I just like you as a friend.
That'd be weird.
How do you get in that position? You should have crossed this, maybe 3 months in, you make your intentions known. So I think that email, and God bless you for writing to me, but I think that's what you made a mistake right along the line. She should have known your feelings 2 years ago or 1 year, 11 months ago. You should have made that clear. I would say, don't be mean to her and say, run away from me. I don't want to see you. I don't want to be your friend. But being friends with a person that you have more than friend feelings is painful. I've tried it. It's a nightmare. I'd say don't do it. Move along with your life. If you do work together, work with her, say hi. But going out for coffee before the show and stuff, that's over, man. She told you how she feels. And romantically, you're not in. I'm sorry about that. But I can't tell you that I think you have a shot when you don't, because that'll lead you to pain, and you're a listener of ours, and that would cause you pain. I don't want that. She told you the rules, and those are, in fact, the rules, and she has every right to set them. Thanks for the email. I do appreciate that. Right. I hope you get lots and lots and lots of girls. They're the key to everything.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah.
Especially after 2 years. Sorry, Will, but you and Olivia the elder.
Yeah, broke up.
Not happening.
Put so much time in, too.
I know. All the jewelry you bought her.
All the family heirlooms you gave her. Oh, wait,
that's gimmicks.
Joe in Lakewood, you're on with Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
My ex-wife has been keeping my 10-year-old daughter in pull-ups at night, only makes her shower every other day. My daughter comes to my house with severe odor issues due to not proper womanly hygiene.
Right.
She's had 3 UT infections in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I could go on and on about this.
First of all, I'm going to take everything that Joe says at his word, because that's the rules of Life Coach. And, hygiene and stuff like that's a big thing. I would call it because there's the infections really bother me. The UT, for those of you who don't immediately jump to that, urinary tract infections. That's a big deal. I would think that you should seriously, first of all, first, call child services. That's the first thing you want to do. Second is ask your daughter if she can keep a diary of how often she's showering and what kind of shampoo her mother buys, all the hygiene products and all the things that she does that are her ex-wife's responsibility to tell a young girl, because that is your responsibility too. But it's a daughter. That kind of falls to the mom. I don't like it at all. I've run into nothing real bad where I'd call child services, but you got to take your kid's hygiene in that's a very important thing. And if she's getting, I'm worried about sores at this point. Infections are a real deal. Joe, you absolutely have to call child service, and they'll jump too on this. This is a real thing. You don't have to hit a child to abuse it. You don't have to raise your hand. You can neglect food. You can neglect hygiene. It's a big deal. Joe, you should call somebody about that.
And you're right, it definitely is something that falls on the mother's.
Yeah, it does lean. I mean, and it all falls to all parents. But as a little girl, there are all sorts of things to go. I'm not just, I have a daughter, Isabella. At the time, and if she ever came to me something weird, and Gretchen's a good mom. If she came to me and she said, I'd like to talk to you about sex or monthly cycles or things like that, I'd give whatever I could give and then say, you might want to check with your mom about this.
800-252-1025. Call that number with any kind of problem you have. Danny Bonaduce, life coach, can help you. Joan in Redmond sent an email. You guys can email lifecoach@KZOK.com. Joan writes, my 18-year-old just got accepted to Stanford.
Nice.
We are very proud and we're very happy about it. But
Didn't
also,
Richard Sherman go to Stanford?
Yep.
Look at me pull that one out, huh? Okay.
But we're also very stressed out because of the expenses. The costs are outrageous. I've heard sometimes families ask friends or other family members for donations for college funds. I'm tempted to ask, but my husband is against it. He's embarrassed. My daughter can get student loans, but I don't want her to get out of college and be in debt for thousands. What do you think? Can I ask people for a donation and then tell him later? Are there any other creative ways to pay for her education?
This is a lot of questions here. First of all, I think finding creative ways to pay for your daughter to go to Stanford and not telling your husband is a mistake. You don't want to be, hey, I'm going to Stanford today. So start off as a negative. But yeah, there are a ton of ways. I'm assuming that you've already exercised Stanford itself. Hey, we can't afford Stanford. My kids got the grades to get it. Do you have a system? And often they do. It won't pay for all of the college. Nothing will pay for all of Stanford, man. Stanford is expensive. But there's all sorts of things you can do. One, ask friends. You can do that. That's fair enough. Oh, my kid got to Stanford. Did you believe our kid got into Stanford? Can you help us out? Some people, they won't kick in a lot. And I'm making this up, but if somebody came to me, and not even my family, so a close friend, I'd kick in what I could. That's a one-time shot a kid gets into Stanford. I'm going to help a little bit. The other one is bake sales, car washes, all sorts of stuff that you can do.
When I got to college, I joined a fraternity, and there were so many scholarships from the fraternity that a lot of my school got paid for.
Yeah.
Just being in the,
that a lot of the scholarships too, not necessarily through fraternities, but there's a lot of scholarships out there that go unused.
Yeah.
Like if you happen to be a pig aficionado, like real specific things. Like if you happen
pig
to,
aficionado?
if you do stuff for like 4-H, or if you like to grow tulips. Like they're really specific niches that you could find out maybe your kid qualifies.
And also there is and like I said, Startup Creative, Sarah and Will were correct, the jar at a 7-Eleven where your friend works or something like that, boom, or something like that at Nordstrom's. So think of that. You said creative ways, and there are a ton of them. Think about all the way to the end, by the way. Don't go, a car wash, I'm doing it, and jump because it seems easy. Figure it all out so you can take it from A to Z on this. But yeah, there are a ton of off the road, off charts ways of getting your kid to Stanford because I really, really, really want her to go. Yeah. That'd be awesome if she goes to Stanford.
Plus, student loans and debt is kind of natural.
Yeah, that's part of growing up. You start life in debt. That's the thing.
That's just the way it works.
Hey, that's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce and Life Coach today. And by the way, Danny Bonaduce and Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorceman. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.